welcome to Coffee and Convo with the Apostle. Good afternoon, okay? It's after 12, so good afternoon. I am so excited about this series and these episodes that I have dealing with relationships, okay? I get a lot of questions about relationships. I get a lot of questions about uh, the balance and boundaries and everything. So we're going to be dealing with love, balance, and boundaries. And this is just an introduction. I'm going to be dealing with each one in detail. This is just an introduction of what's to come. Okay, so I hope that y'all are able to join me. And if you can't catch me live, you can catch the recordings. You can catch me on YouTube, Coffee and Convo with the Apostle, with Dr. Laura. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with relationship with God. We're going to be dealing with marriage. We're going to deal with dating. We're going to be dealing with love. And we're going to be dealing with church leaders and members relationship, parent-child relationship, families, relationship with families, like what's healthy, what's unhealthy, what are boundaries, and dealing with those areas. We're going to also be dealing with friendships. Like we're going to deal with different levels of friendship, knowing, having a good relationship with your friends, and can men and women have the same relationship? Can you have a good relationship, a platonic relationship with opposite sex? Can you just be friends? Can you be friends with your exes? How far does that go? We're going to be dealing with if your spouse or your partner does not like your friend. Okay, how do you deal with that? What is the boundaries that's set for that? What do we deal with? And we're going to be dealing with healthy and unhealthy boundaries in relationships. How many know that there is so much to learn about having good relationships? I see so often that marriages and churches get destroyed because there was not good, clear boundaries set. It's very important to set clear boundaries. It's very important to be specific. And it's very important to make sure that people respect those boundaries. We cannot afford to allow ourselves to have people cross very important boundaries to us. Things that take our peace, things that destroy our relationship with others, things that challenge our integrity. Those things, we have to know how to set boundaries to these things. So this being an introductory, we will, like I said, we're going to be covering God, your relationship with God, and how do you deal with people that don't have the same faith, and how do you, there has to be boundaries, but they can, in every relationship, I believe that you can be respectable. You can be respectable of people's differences. You can be respectable of people's boundaries. And I do believe that you can also stand your ground and do not settle for disrespect. Do not settle for people disrespecting your faith, your marriage, your friendship. Those are things that you have to take a stand. And when you write out clear boundaries, when you have clear boundaries, anyone who loves you, who honors you, who respects you, they will respect your boundaries. If they're willing to push those boundaries over and over again or come against those set boundaries, those are people that you may start considering walking away from. Those are people that you may start considering changing up on, because if people don't respect your boundaries and always demand that you respect theirs. I have been married in ministry for a long time, and I've seen people that will have respect for me but won't respect my husband, and or have respect for my husband and won't have respect for me. And we have to set those boundaries. We are one. You're going to have to respect us both, or respect neither one of us, but we have to deal with that kind of stuff. When you see a husband and wife in ministry, don't be so disrespectful to the wife. Don't be so disrespectful to the husband. I have been in settings where people would talk to me, and my husband will be right there. People will, males will call on me, and me being a pastor and an apostle, I accept that. But my husband is also in the ministry, and I find myself that when the boundaries begin to get crossed, or when it begins to be too much, I set a different standard. I set a different boundary, and I begin to say either my husband is right there with me when we're talking, or I give I let my husband do the talking. If he's comfortable with me discussing things and praying, then he's right there. I can guarantee you that if I'm talking to a male, if I'm talking to someone about personal things and they're wanting the spiritual aspect of it, my husband is right there because he is a man of God. We have to have those boundaries. We have to have that respect and that level of respect for one another. We can't keep allowing people to disrespect our spouses. That leaves room for the enemy. Okay, so we're gonna dive into some deep details about that. We're going to dive into some details about dating. People should respect your boundaries. If you're going to, if you're telling them that you want to remain celibate, or you want to remain a virgin, or you want to remain uh, uh, untouched until marriage, they should respect that. If they can't respect those boundaries, those are things that you have to make up your mind. Are you willing to be disrespected, or are you willing to maintain those boundaries and just, hey, be willing to lose someone sometime? Sometimes maintaining balance means that you have to be willing to tell people bye, and that's okay because they have to respect your boundaries. And then there's balance. Okay, you can do too much of something. You can take yourself off balance by doing too much. Are you the one giving and doing and giving and doing all the time, and you get nothing in return? That's an off balance somewhere. Are you the one showing kindness, and you get no kindness in return? You're being kind to people who treat you any kind of way. You're love, and you should love people, but the Bible tells me, oh, no man nothing but to love him. Dealing with finances, dealing with your capacity to love your brethren. Owe them nothing but to love them. When you love a person, and you love a person truly, and you love a person wholeheartedly, they must respect those boundaries that are set and that balance. Because if it is throwing you off balance, then if you are in leadership and you get thrown off balance, everything that you're carrying get thrown off balance as well. So you have to have that. You have to have your relationship with God in balance. You have to have do church leaders need to be so friendly with their members? I mean, like, do all your members need to be at your home and around you every day? Those are things that we need to discuss. Y'all can give me the comments. Let me know what y'all think. We'll definitely discuss those things, and I will pick out 4 or 5 comments every week that I will ask the questions to and discuss. If you have any questions about it, I would definitely love to discuss it with you. Or if you have another view, I could deal with another perspective or another view of it. That I have no problem with. Okay? So if you have another view of things, then you let me know. And then we have, can a man and woman, okay, that's not married, be only friends? In other words, say you had a best friend, okay, and that, if my best friend is a male, and can can we remain best friends without crossing the line? Can if my best friend is a male and my husband and that male, my best friend, don't get along, where do I draw the line? Where do I put balance? Where do I put boundaries? Same thing if my husband's best friend was a female. How do I handle that? What can I do with that? And it has nothing to do with insecurities. It has to do with whether they respect their boundaries, respect their balance and their place. Respect your boundaries that are set. Though it's a lot of details that I'm leaving out because I'm giving y'all the introduction, okay? I don't want to go to a lot of details, but if you have any questions about any of this, any examples about any of these type of relationships that have gone too far, that does not respect the boundaries, then you, hey, write it down, type it up, send it to me. Let me know. Let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. And then do you tell your friend everything? Everything. Do you go to your friend about all your business, all your marriage, all your good? Do you tell your friend everything? Is that healthy? Is that unhealthy to tell them everything? Is that wise? Those are things we want to discuss, okay? We want to discuss like what's too much and what's not enough. What's too much information? What's too much of your business? What's too much of their opinion? Okay? What's too much? And then we want to know, let's see, what else are we going to be talking? Friendship, families. What is respect and how does it apply? When you're dealing with family relationships, when you're dealing with mother daughter, sister brother, aunt uncle, cousins, older cousins, older family members, what is the boundary? How does that apply? Where is the respect? Is respect something that you can just demand? Or is respect something that has to work both ways? We're in this time frame that's different. I grew up where you just respect them, okay? If they're older than you, we call older cousins, aunties, or uncles and stuff. If they're older than you just have a level of respect for them. And but as I got older, my opinion from that changed. Okay, my opinion changed is where I maintain respect, but I demand respect as well. Just because you're older than me, once I'm grown and an adult, respect work both ways. You can't just keep saying because you're grown or because you're older than me that I owe you respect. That's not how it works. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss the detail. And it's the relationship. Did we carry a relationship of respect? I have aunts and uncles that are close to my age, okay? But I give them the utmost respect. I respect them. They respect me. I've never, gone out the way with any of them, and they haven't gone out the way with me. It's been a mutual respect. But I have been around other people, that would show disrespect in the worst ways. So, where's the balance? Where are the boundaries? Does this apply to everyone? Does this apply to some? How were you raised? What does respect mean to you? Because people having different opinions and expressing those opinions to me is not disrespectful. I welcome different opinions. I welcome and respect the different thoughts and mindsets of each generation. So, but some people will call that disrespect. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go into details about this kind of stuff. What is too much and what is not enough? So we're dealing with relationships. I believe it's going to be a 13 series. Okay, we're coming up in February, Valentine's Day, the month of love and relationships and all this here stuff. And what we're going to do is begin to just dissect every relationship. And so far, okay, it has become 13 episodes, okay, not including this one. This is just the introduction. So I'm preparing you. If you have questions, if you want me to discuss a type of relationship, then put it in the comments. Put it in the comments and I can look at it and I can have time to go over it, and I will pick probably 5 topics out of each comments, each episode, okay? And I will pick about 5 comments. I'm not going to pick everybody's, but somebody's, and maybe it will be yours, will get picked to discuss on this series of relationships. If you feel like people have not respected your boundaries, people have not honored what was set in in stone for you. And people have crossed boundaries and knocked you off balance, or you've loved hard and went without that type of love in return, and you want to know what to do about it. Put those comments down. We're going to be discussing all of that. How do you handle an ungrateful person? How do you handle an unappreciative person? How do you handle a narcissistic person? How do you handle a entitled person when it comes to relationships? How do you deal with these type of people that feel like they're forceful in their place in your life, and they feel like that they can come in your life any kind of way, doing any type of thing, and you should accept it because of your relationship with them? How do you deal with it? Give me some examples. I'll get some of your examples and I will share those as well. Put them in the comments, okay? Put them in the comments because I want to know. I don't have all the answers. I'm only giving you stuff from experience and biblical. I don't have all the answers. We handle things different. The variables may be different, which means that we might have gone through the same situation, but different type of people. Different things cause that situation. So if the variable changes, the outcome changes, okay? So how you handle it changes. So be careful of those people that say stuff like, if I was you, I'd do that. No, because the variable could have been different. What you went through and what I went through may be similar, but there may be some, I'm going to guarantee you that some of the variables are different. Something happened different. You're not with the same person that I was with. Your spouse may be different. You may have caused some things. Your spouse may have caused some things, and what caused it may be different than what caused my issues. So I can't say if I was you, because I was not you. I don't know. All I'm going to be speaking from is my perspective, my psychological background, and my biblical principles. That's what I'm going to be speaking on. I have a degree in psychology. I'm going to be dealing with the psychological aspect. I I'm going to be dealing with. I got a doctorate in divinity, theology. I'm going to be dealing with the biblical principles of it. And then I'm going to be dealing with personal experience. So those are the three areas I'm coming from. So you have areas you can add to and that you can tell me about, okay? So we're going to get through this together. We're going to get through the month of February on into March, dealing with relationships so that we will be able to, number one, be able to love, okay? Be able to love with balance and with boundaries. That's our goal. That's what we're going to, and that's what we're looking forward to learning. How do I deal with my relationships with balance and boundaries and still be able to love a person in spite of? So, anyway, y'all buckle up, put your seatbelts on, brace yourself, because this is the nicest part of the relationship series. Is the introduction, because I'm going to be going in detail. I'm going to be getting real. I'm going to be exposing some things. I'm going to be breaking down some things, and I'm going to be helping you rebuild your life with love, balance, and boundaries. Thank you for joining me with Coffee and Convo. I'm Dr. Laura. Y'all take care.